we made that mistake on this job. Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to be asking a question. Is this drain box that you see behind me an inlet or is it an outlet? And you might be thinking to yourself, that's an odd question. We buy these drain boxes to be an inlet drain box, to take water in and to take it away from the property through a 4-inch or 6-inch pipe, similar to this channel drain that's installed right down here. This channel drain is here obviously to protect this doorway. So as water comes in off of these pavers, it would cross over the channel drain, preventing the water from going up underneath the door and thus taking it away. But this project is now about 3 years old almost, and we did all of the work here, 100% of it. But today in this video, I specifically want to talk about drains, and more specifically about drains that serve as both an inlet as well as an outlet. When we came out here prior to beginning this job, all of this was sloped dirt. So from the corner of the house, this wall did not exist at all. All of the dirt came and sloped off of here at an angle. And in order to recapture some of this land and be able to bring in this nice, beautiful paver pathway that extends around to the back of the house, we needed to install this retaining wall. Well, when we install this retaining wall and all of the subsequent plant material that goes above this retaining wall, it became important to address drainage. We went from an area that had relatively good drainage. There was a tree here, it had a root system, there were a variety of plants that had an established root system, so drainage wasn't a huge concern. Water could easily flow down this hill and off and out to the side of the property. Once we build this wall, we're essentially trapping water in this area. So the area above the wall becomes crucial that we are able to effectively capture that water and drain it all out. Here we are in the front of the property. Again, all of this land sloped off, so drainage wasn't a problem. We built this wall up, so we had to establish a brand new low point in the yard. And we did that about 6-7 feet off of the house. What we did is we came in and we installed this drain basin right here. We knew that if once we brought this grade up, between this grade, this is almost dead level. If anything, the slope is more towards the house. And if you know anything about drainage, you know that you don't want to direct water toward the foundation of the house, because underneath this foundation sits a finished basement. So we piped up this drain basin right here in the yard. We also took a pipe from this downspout and we put in through a variety of fittings. We wanted to leave a clean out, so there's an air gap here. We don't always do that, but in this situation we felt it was necessary with all the elbows to have the ability to snake this out in case it ever got clogged. And then we piped it all up down below. Now here's where down below is. That's just where I was standing a moment ago. That drain basin that was at the top, in fact, there's another drain basin right here, and this one downspout came down onto the inlet side of this drain basin right here in the ground. So we have a few options when we're using downspouts and drainage. A lot of times we can run our pipe to the inlet side of the drain, which means the water comes in this way, or to the outlet side of the drain, the downstream side of the drain. So inlet or upstream side of the drain, or outlet or downstream side of the drain. Initially, we had the drain basin, the box that's up on top of this wall, coming to the inlet side of the drain. The downspout was coming to the downstream side of the drain. No problem with coming to the downstream side of the drain. But I want you to imagine if you have any type of vertical water coming to the inlet or upstream side of the drain, your drain box has a very high likelihood of acting as an outlet as opposed to an inlet. See, drains are designed to take in water and move that water away. They take in water through the top surface of the drain box. However, if you have water coming in to the inlet side, which means maybe you have more than one drain box in this system. Let's say, in this case we do, upstream is another drain box. That water comes in and it flows through the inlet side, fills into this box, and flows out through the outlet side. And that works correctly under normal amounts of water pressure. However, when you add a downspout into this system, you're essentially adding another component of velocity, gravity. So that water now, instead of just flowing at a natural pace or a natural speed, is going to flow at a higher rate of speed because gravity is involved. And as it picks up speed, water's going to look for the path of least resistance. So if you have high velocity water coming into the inlet side or the upstream side of this drain basin, it is going to come in so fast, and because it is easier for that water to shoot out of that drain box rather than to go through the drain box, you will find in a first rainstorm water bubbling out. If that lid has not been secured down with screws, that lid will probably even float. You may find it 5 or 10 feet away where it is floated, and you're going to get a call immediately from your homeowner saying, you guys did something wrong with the drain. So what we did is we came and we brought all of these pipes in and rerouted them to the downstream side of this basin. So upstream of this basin, there's nothing tied into that pipe at all. It's a plug. Downstream is where it connects. So this basin won't be under any water pressure. So there's nothing now other than what falls from the sky and collects in these rocks around it to fall into this basin, because all the velocity of the water is further downstream. So that is the solution. Make sure that you pipe those in to the downstream side of drain boxes if you are going to use a drain box in conjunction with the same pipe system that is on your downspouts. A better solution even above that would be to pipe your downspout pipes independently and then pipe your drain boxes on a completely separate pipe. But this gives you another rough idea of what we've done at the other pipes that are going below this paver patio. So we've gone ahead and piped these up. These are on its own independent system. They're not tied into that drain box system because we don't want to overrun the capacity. Also, as far as downspouts go, there's no hard and fast rule without understanding how much water is coming off of it. But I will say in general, this is a rule of thumb. This is not to take to the bank. But as a rule of thumb, we try never to put more than 2 downspouts on any single 4-inch pipe. We try never to put more than 2 12-inch drain basins on any single 4-inch pipe. So for example, there's a lot of cases where you're piping downspouts and you pick the first one up at the front corner of the house, the next one up maybe at a transition point on the side or near the back corner of the house, and then maybe you pick up a third on the back of the house, and then maybe you throw a drain basin on it, and then maybe you take it out. Well, that will generally overwhelm the system. Don't try to jam too many things onto these piping systems, or they do get overwhelmed. They will back up and they will put water in the places that you don't want water to come, and they will force water out of the areas that prove to be the path of least resistance. So again, if you were to do pipe at the front corner, pipe at the back corner, and then a drain box, and then discharge your pipe, where's all the water going to come out? It's all going to come out of that drain box, not at the end of the pipe. So that drain box will actually serve as an outlet, not an inlet. Now, there's a little bit of a strategy to allowing a drain box to serve as an outlet, because a lot of times on these outlets we'll use what's called a 4-inch pop-up emitter. A pop-up emitter operates on a spring, and a lot of times under heavy water velocity, water will flow, though it'll flow up through the elbow, up through the pop-up emitter, but instead of pushing the spring, if that spring gets old or rusty or bent in any way, or there's a little bit of debris, it pushes the entire pop-up emitter off and downstream. Sometimes we can't even find them, they push them so far. Also, if a mower runs over a pop-up emitter and it's not set low enough into the ground, the suction just of running a large walk-behind mower can suck the top of that emitter off and turn it into 10,000 different pieces, and that's no fun. So oftentimes what we'll do is we'll actually use a tiny bit of PVC glue and cement, and we will put in a 4-inch drain inlet as a cover to that 4-inch pipe. And that drain inlet actually now is being used as a drain outlet. So there's a little bit of strategy in doing it backwards. So how to best address the use of using drain basins in combination with downspout piping whenever possible. Keep those systems independent from each other. So I hope this video helps you better understand drainage and downspout piping. And also on this particular project, we'll be doing a full walkthrough of what we did on this project. Stay tuned for that one. Thank you. Have a great day.